pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the March 2nd meeting minutes. Everybody get a chance to read those?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of claims.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Dusty?
So the right of way for Bridge 16 have all been granted. And I think Thursday I meet O'Mara out there to stake off right of way and get started on that. We have 3,600 tons of our 6,000 total, number 11 hauled for the chip and seal work. Crew's been running roads for tree damage. The 3 new dump trucks are in use. And we have 3 of the old Chevy dump trucks. Once we get the brine wiring system out of that for our brine tanks, we'll be ready to put them up for auction or whatever y'all want to do.
I don't think Ryan's here now. You probably get with Ryan, get those on our government, what they call it, they don't think. Whatever.
I'm not sure.
It's a government auction. You get some money out of that.
I, Just so happens I was out at Zoomer on Saturday getting some oil stuff to service my mower, and Rob Vestal said he'd been doing online auctions for Dearborn County and had really good success, sell value, getting what he said was really good prices for their dump trucks and stuff, so it might be something worth looking into. I don't know. He comes out and takes the pictures and everything. My understanding is the county doesn't really have to do anything.
Pay him a small fee.
I'm sure he gets a percentage, right?
We're looking at some money out of these things.
I'll
There's
let
always
you-
a buyer.
I'll let you know once we get the wiring out of it, and then we'll decide which way we want to go. And then, I forgot to ask, Travis Miller contacted me about buying some signposts for the cemetery. And just want to make sure you all was all right with that. He was wanting to buy them from us.
Oh.
I think he just needed a few to let him know.
Yeah.
You good with that?
Yeah.
And then, the last thing I have is the backhoe quotes that we talked about. This will be for 3 2025 case backhoes. The price is on the first page and the specs are on the second page. Yeah, I'll let Terry.
When's the last time
Already
you bought
did.
Two
one?
of ours are 2003s, and then the third one's actually, maybe 2000 or 99. It's a few years older than the third one, 2002.
And this is the government price, right?
Yeah, that's what it's sold for. And their case backhoes, the old ones we have, they've been good ones. They're getting to the point where they got 6,000 and 7,000 hours on them. The rust has got them to the worst thing. We got one, you can't hardly get the door open because the side of the cab rotted out. We're getting pretty rough shape.
So what's the arrangement with Case for this? Is this just an upfront cost?
Yeah, that'd be the total cost for all 3. And I didn't put no delivery price in there because I figured we could go pick them up ourselves.
Is this supposed to be like the trucks? Is there a waiting period?
No, there might be a short wait on the third one, but the first 2 are actually in stock now.
Okay.
And then he said the third one they have ordered already from previous, and it's probably a month or 2 months out. They try to keep so many in stock on the lot.
So are they the same price if we buy them individually, or is that
No,
a bulk discount?
yeah, that's the multi-discount for 3. We saved, I think it was 38 or 40, right at 40,000. for buying 3 today. Which is a lot, but,
Right.
because I think the original, without the discount, was almost 480,000.
This is just under $448,000.
I'd be curious, and I can look it up, what percentage is made in the US, because I noticed they tacked a tariff
Yeah,
taxed on it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, Fiat actually owns the case. They bought them 14 years ago, so some of them probably do.
Imported.
When do we need to decide this?
It's,
January.
they're not January. We got at least one on.
Yeah, I just about that.
That's afterward.
There you go.
You want to take 2 weeks?
I think this is good for 30 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
Can you
it's all
put
I
that
got.
on old business?
30 days.
You say that was all you had? I don't think Ryan's been up. Ryan Seafood.
I thought he was coming today, I thought he told us that weeks ago, that's why they're supposed to be there in the morning. He isn't really coming.
Joe Spillman, coroner.
Hello,
How's it going?
pretty good.
Oh, you was serious when you said new. As in brand new.
I think it's a pretty good price on there. I'll explain.
So, a couple weeks ago, we talked about a new coroner's vehicle. I guess I didn't realize looking into it, finding a basic, no thrills work truck, it's actually kind of hard to find. So, Kelsey Chevrolet, that's the packet. 2 of the packets you have for a white one and a black one. They are willing to take the Durango as a trade-in and give $6,500 for it. In this process, I learned that that Durango is actually classified as a police pursuit vehicle. When you run the VIN, I learned up there at Kelsey Chevrolet that loan companies will actually not give us a loan, normal people a loan, to buy a police pursuit vehicle. So they gave us a little bit more than what they would typically give, so that they were trying to earn our business. Nobody else seemed real interested in taking that in on a trade because they can't resell it. They're going to have to strip it out, put a new dash in it. I think Kelsey Chevrolet is trying to get the business from us, so I think they gave us everything that they could with the $6,500. Marshall Chevrolet had a very similar truck. That was a 25. That's the bigger packet. Obviously, the prices are about the same between a 25 and a 26. However, we don't get the $6,500 trade-in. Kelsey Chevrolet had 2 vehicles, one black, one white, quoted for the same price. Marshall Chevrolet, as you can see up there, has a 25 work vehicle. I believe that was right around 30. I gave you all my packets. I believe that was right around 35 as well, with no trade-in value. So at Kelsey Chevrolet, we could get a white or black work truck, 8-foot bed, with trade-in value for $28,969. I spoke with Swiss Caps. They quoted me a price. I'm still waiting on an email from them for a cap for that. An aluminum cap on that will be $2,400 or $2,500 with a side panel to store things in. So total cost is the cost of the vehicle plus that 2,500 to get that out in a functional coroner's vehicle.
You know, my personal opinion with Kelsey being in state, I think we need to stay when we can, and plus them willing to give 6,500.
Yeah, they worked really well. I mean, I drove the coroner's vehicle, I drove the Durango up there. They took it for a drive. They looked it over. And like I said, I think they're giving us the top end 6,500 on that. So, I mean, I don't think we're going to get a better trade-in value anywhere else.
And again, you haven't bought a new vehicle, or the coroner's office hasn't had a new vehicle since
97.
97.
Well, I think the 97 was actually purchased in 2002.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but yeah, that's the last time, it's been more than 20 years since.
Do you prefer the white or the black?
I would think that I think white is probably a better option. I think it looks more professional, and the aluminum caps I know come in kind of standard colors, whether that's white, black, or red. But I think white's a little bit easier to match. So I think if we're going to get an aluminum cap on it, I think white would probably look a little bit better.
Questions?
I don't have it.
I don't have any questions.
So,
The only question I would have is, would we really want to trade in the Durango? If we would happen to go ahead and get the code enforcement officer position, would we use that for that? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
so my opinion on that would be yes, because the Durangos
We want to get rid of the Durango.
are bad. That's my police experience, Durangos are bad. There's gonna be coming a time here before too long that the sheriff's department's gonna eventually start upgrading, and maybe we can talk to them and buy something that they're gonna get rid of that's not crap. The Durangos are crap, you know. It's one thing after another. If Ryan ever was here, he would tell you that his is in the shop quite often. He just doesn't come to us for the money to fix it.
Right, yeah, I think you mentioned it maybe at the last week.
Yeah, those model Durangos are just bad, and I think we're gonna, if we can get $6,500 out of a money pit, I would vote for it. Do that. We can find another vehicle. I'm
Those
sure.
are the one that he has and the one that Ryan has from the two we got from the town.
Damn, do you remember what we paid for?
Thought we gave,
8,000
I thought it was 10.
maybe 10.
5 of these. We can get 6,500. I don't know how much we put into them, but I'm sure it's considerable at this point. I would make a motion to approve the purchase of the 2026 Chevy Silverado white color for the coroner's office. I would say, right now, if we have to, we pay for our casino, but I'm gonna go to county council, being that this wasn't a budgeted item. I will go to the next county council meeting and ask them to pay for this out of the rainy day fund, because this was an unexpected purchase. If they deny that, then we'll fall back on casino, but that would be my initial plan, to go and ask them to pay for this.
I'll
So we
second.
didn't budget this.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
So when you take the rainy day fund, the rainy day from the in the casino or the actual rainy day? The levy, or two?
It can be within the casino. That, they have, this wasn't a budget
Not
item, so.
necessarily from.
And there's a ton of money.
From commissioners,
Right.
money, not from the commissioners. from-
If they deny us, then yeah, we'll, I guess we'll just do it, but I think they should pay for this, because this wasn't expected.
Thank you.
All they're doing is approving the appropriation anyways.
Do you need this, Joe, then? Sign thing? Is that how you're gonna pick up?
I'll probably need a copy of it. want, we'll save that. If you can sign that one, I'll retain that one. Thank you.
Thanks.
Veterans Affairs. No.
You guys should have a packet that I laid
Yeah.
somewhere.
Hello, good evening. Ron Higgins, State of Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs. State of Indiana Legislature passed a new law and it's pertaining to county veteran service officers. And it is Indiana Code 10-17-1-9. And yes, you have a packet there, and I placed my business cards there as well. But anyway, I'm a Southeast District Service Officer. I train and support county veteran service officers to be in the role they're in. I have 19 counties in the southeast of Indiana. I have Cincinnati, Indianapolis, and Louisville VA Medical Center in my area. Dwayne Covington is one of our people. The purpose of this statute is to establish comprehensive mandatory standards for the accreditation of veteran service officers who are conducting operational business within the state of Indiana. The statute also sets clear required rules of operation for these accredited service officers. Service officers shall perform all functions, operations, and report all information required by the state department in the Claims Management Center system, which is our software that we use in all 92 counties. It's uniform across the board. And anyway, some of the operations include completion of relevant information in the fields and forms, intake form of logins, of walk-ins, appointments, and substantive interactions, claimant information responsibility and liability form, which is an agreement between the client and the veteran service officer that the client understands. Other protocols deemed to affect operational effectiveness and efficiency as well. Only accredited veteran service officers in compliance with this policy are authorized full unrestricted access to the claims management system, which means assistants and secretaries will not be able to submit claims to the state of Indiana or the federal VA. So a very quick overview of the highlights of this. CVSOs are now required to be a hired employee of the county and no longer appointed for 4 years. CVSOs must have posted office hours on their door. They must maintain at least 1,000 hours per year, which is roughly 20 hours per week. They must keep their office hours and information up current on our database. And they must have the appropriate technology, internet access, technology of other sorts, and utilize the software that we provide. They must have and maintain a personal identification verification badge, which allows the veteran service officer to look into the veterans database and see and render a more accurate opinion of claims and see the entire VA file. So they must also have private office space to conduct confidential discussions for personal protected information. They must attend Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs trainings every year. There is a 4-day training that will take place in the summer, and there are 2 district trainings, one in the spring, one in the fall, and they're required to attend these to maintain their continuing education units. It will also include certain required online trainings and proficiency examinations. New CVSOs are required to reach out to the IDVA for orientation and for the accreditation that they need. Through this claims management system, the CVSO will capture clients' data, which will be used for reports, which I'm required by this new law to brief every county commissioners twice a year. The next one will be a performance sort of briefing, which all the good things that we're doing, all the claims that he's been filing, and whatever, generic information, really. But there are outreach expectations and various other data entry that is happening. And anyway, I'd like to pay you a high compliment. Dwayne is exceeding all expectations, and he is 100% compliant even before this law passed. So this law, actually makes everything uniform across the board. So you could get one county, you can get the very same services and resources that you can in another county. So anyway, this is kind of a briefing, very quick briefing of Indiana Code. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions? Thank you for all you do for our veterans. Truly appreciate you.
Thank you for the compliment on Dwayne.
Awesome. And you have my contact information if you need me for any reason whatsoever. So thank you. Appreciate you.
John?
Let's see, Friday, March 6th, toured all three parks, all well, one tattered flag at Markham, replaced March 9th. Saturday, March 7th, talked to our county attorney. Mistakes were made on both sides regarding the mobile home situation. We shouldn't have towed private property away, or on the other hand, we should not have left it in place on a narrow county road in the dark. Owner still incarcerated. Held our regularly scheduled meeting Thursday, March 12th. YPAC starts practice this week at Markland. Water's turned on last Friday. Restrooms open April 1st. Expect to work with contractor this week installing new baseball netting to replace our wholly present netting. And we may start dredging work in Patriot this spring, I hope, after a year of fighting. That's it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Sheriff?
I'm here to fill you in on, we had an opportunity to generate some income over to jail with housing Ohio County's inmates. Been working with Sheriff Baxter on that for a little while, and he reached out and he was ready to go. So long story short, we ended up agreeing on $250,000 a year as guaranteed income. We had the bed space. There's no reason not to do that. Doesn't put us anywhere near maximum capacity. We didn't need to hire any extra help to do it. Before I made that commitment to him, I went to county council and said, hey, we're going to be able to generate $250,000 a year. I would like to possibly commit part of that to pay raises to my employees. Which, like I said, it was a no-brainer. They're going to have a little over, ballpark $110,000, $120,000 going in the general fund. They can do whatever they want to with. Plus, my folks was getting a substantial pay increase. So, like I said, it was no brainer. They agreed. They voted, passed it. They asked about a contract, which technically we don't need to have a contract. We can rent to whoever we want to rent. But to make them feel a little bit better, since a lot of that commitment was going to pay raises, Sheriff Baxter and I did an MOU together that outlines, plain and simple, the agreement. Worked with Garrett. He reached out to me because I had him look at that MOU. In 2024, I think it was, they had changed the law to where an MOU is considered a contract, which would require you guys approval on that. So, Garrett, if you want to.
Yeah, so when I think Jefferson covered the meeting for council, and then once I came back from session, I started talking to folks. The initial contract that they had negotiated was a 30-day out contract from the beginning. If they're giving pay raises, I was a little apprehensive about that. So he was gracious enough to work with Sheriff Baxter. We renegotiated that term so that we at least have certainty through the first year. And then after that, it is the 30-day out. As to why you guys are approving it, yes, I think I sent the commissioners the initial memo I have, but there was a law change before I was up there. But it basically says that all contracts between any county office have to be approved by the commissioners. So for this purpose, I want to make sure that we follow the right process so that we have dotted our I's and crossed our T's on this side. So.
you know.
I think that's it from that side.
So you said you met with council and they said that they agreed that basically 100 and some thousand would go for increases for the sheriff's department.
That's the second, I did forget to say that. When they approved their salary ordinance on Wednesday, the discussion was, and we thought it best to say contingent on that contract being approved by you guys. So the salary ordinance approved Wednesday.
So
is
they're
contingent.
redoing the salary ordinance?
The salary ordinance has been changed, effective upon passage of this document.
And that was unanimous vote, wasn't it?
6-1.
Yes.
But I think the no vote, as described by that individual, was not based off of the sheriff's.
True.
There's a secondary portion of that related to the prosecutors.
Yeah, I felt it was too good of a deal to pass up, so.
And honestly, Ohio County,
Well, I
what
mean,
their
they're,
options are, Brooklyn County or Dearborn County.
yeah, and that's the thing. And they did business with us years ago under past administration. And Tom and I have always had a great working relationship all the years with the state police. He's guaranteed to be the sheriff for the next 5 years, and he said he ain't going nowhere. He was tickled to get back in business with Switzerland County. They spent quite a bit of money on a 10-bed holding facility. It's not manned 24/7, so it's not technically an operating jail. I don't see Ohio County going out here in the next few years and dropping 30 or 40 mil on a full-time operating jail. So as long as you got 2 sheriffs, whoever comes in behind me and up there, I think there's going to be a long working relationship with Ohio County. And that's good. That's great for us and great for them. Like I said, able to give my staff, a lot of them that's putting in the work, a substantial pay raise, get us back in the game, didn't cost county a nickel. Plus you get a little over $100,000 in the general fund that you guys can do whatever you want to with.
So, Brian, you may have said, I wasn't probably paying attention if you did. Does it guarantee X number of beds or
No.
how's the contract structured?
We made sure in the MOU that if we was to get to capacity, it's agreed he would take his excess somewhere else. But it was a number, like I said, instead of per head, like I said, we just a solid number. It was a good number for us, and it was a good number for them. I think they ended up saving a little bit of money, and plus they would rather just shoot over the hill down here to our jail than going up 50 through 40 stoplights and into Lawrenceburg. So logistically, it was better for them, saves them a little bit of money, makes us a nice chunk of money. I didn't see any negatives to this.
And their deputy is gonna be responsible for transport, right?
Yeah, the only thing we'll do, like I said, we'll take them to the laptop for Zoom hearings and stuff like we do now, but all the transporting, that's all in the MOU. All the medical, everything.
I thought you guys had seen it.
I mean,
So, you know, they're guaranteed 20,833 a month regardless
Yep, whether
If
we got
someone's sitting
2
there or
or
not.
25.
of.
Yes.
What, I think there's one thing on there that maybe would concern me, and you've kind of got it in, Switzerland County refuses right to refuse a prisoner with cause due to health and or safety reasons. What kind of exposure do we have if somebody has a health condition once we have?
Well,
them?
I mean, that's no different than any agency. I mean, Switzerland, the elected sheriff by statute is responsible for the prisoners of the county. So I mean, a state police, the BBPD, DNR, anybody brings an inmate in, they have to go through the booking process and screening. And if we think there's any red flags whatsoever from a medical standpoint, we will reject them. And that arresting agency has to take them to the hospital and get them medically cleared.
But that's
That's just
prior to them being,
that's a CYA for us.
because I mean, I'm obviously ignorant. I don't know what's good and what's not.
Well, I mean, everything about this business is reliability. So, but you just have to watch it. You know, if somebody tests over 2.5 on a PPT, they gotta be medically cleared. There's standard jail rules, just look out for.
Are we already doing it?
It's up to you guys. I mean,
No, I mean, are we already?
yeah, we got the inmates because county council committed to the money I needed for pay raises 2 meetings back. And then at the last meeting, they voted to approve the adjusted salary ordinance pending you guys are okay with this.
So we just need a motion to enter into a contract with Hyde County.
It would be a motion to approve that contract. And effectively what we're doing is ratifying what they have already signed. In the future, like I said, once that memo goes out, all contracts should come to you guys and be signed by you guys. Ratification should cover it from our standpoint.
In reality, the vote should happen before we did it.
I think moving forward, it's best practice to have everything come through you guys first. Because there is a procedure for county officials that if they disagree with your decision and your decision was not based on a statutory or an ordinance basis, they could override your decision. So,
I was just going off of the emails.
yeah, that's it. If you look all the way at the bottom, there's a statutory provision that says that these guys have an ability, but you have to follow that
Okay.
process. Yeah, you have to follow that process.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the contract presented to enter in with the Hyde County Sheriff's Department to house prisoners in Switzerland.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Thank you, gentlemen.
You need to sign this, Gary?
No, at this point, it's just ratifying his
I think,
signature on there.
did you want them to sign that, Brian, just for you?
Yeah,
or
then I'll
does it-
give it to Sheriff Baxter and he can have it taken care of on his end.
Yeah, if you just add a line, then
You know,
Once he gets it sealed up on his end, then we should be to go on as far as that salary ordinance.
Doc, put you on the spot. You want to come talk about this opioid?
Is it the same as we thought?
yeah, I think so. So the opioid funds, they came before council to discuss the use of the opioid funds for after prom. The question is, I don't think we have a specific ordinance set up to handle this, or do we have? I've not been aware of any.
the opioid funds, I calculate in second here, because they have been such a back and forth thing.
Yeah.
Every person has a different opinion, who's in charge, who can say this, who can do that, who's responsible for dispersing those funds. It's went back and forth, I don't know.
And honestly, I was looking more for, is it appropriate to use those funds than the appropriate entity? Which I think it's appropriate from a 30,000 foot view on those.
Right, and I mean,
Unrestricted.
if you look at what unrestricted can be used, what unrestricted can be, the comment was made in the council meeting that the speaker said preventative.
Yep.
And that was the big thing, these are for preventative measures for these kids.
Yep.
You know,
So I think there's no problem with us using the funds. The question is, who's the appropriate entity to approve them? Frankly, I think we need to have a larger discussion moving forward on who the appropriate person is and actually adopt a statute moving forward. Again, stuff we're just doing to clean up.
I understand it's gonna be like a committee or something established. I don't know.
That-
I don't know
that-
if committee's the right
Well,
word.
I can tell you, I did a considerable amount of reading whenever we got that, when we thought maybe we were gonna be able to match that dollar for dollar with FSSA, and what was that? It was the Department of Maternal Health and Addiction, the subsection. So we were working on that, what was that, last year? Probably this time last year, maybe before.
maybe before.
Yeah, before this. And so I'm a little bit fuzzy on a little bit of some of this now, but so you had the two funds, you had the unrestricted and then you had the restricted. And what we were looking at then was that the executive group of the county, you guys, would be controlling those and doling those out. Oh, more so than the county. Did you find anything different than that, or?
I'm not fine. Again, I think we need to, moving forward,
Okay.
adopt an ordinance so we clear it up, because there's some ambiguity, whether or not it's the fiscal body or the executive body, if you don't have one of these ordinances adopted. So I think expeditiously, we need to fix that moving forward. But I think procedurally, just to make sure we have our bases covered, if this body would also approve the after prom requests that. settles
Yeah,
any
yeah, and
discrepancy.
that was, they're requesting the non-restricted
Yeah.
funds.
Yeah, I
So
didn't
the
feel
others
comfortable
are-
with the restricted, the unrestricted, we have a little bit more flexibility. Frankly, you could even use it for very general purposes. We're not going to do that there. We would need an ordinance, but here it falls clearly underneath accepted use. And so,
And this is money that hasn't been touched since
It
COVID.
hasn't touched, you know.
Continues to build through 2032.
Right. What is it? Something like 18 more years or something? I can't remember. But it goes for a while. But yeah, you have some money in there. Now, when we were working on that last year, come to find out, the ladies out of Madison, trying to think. Anyway, they were going to use that, but they couldn't get the match. So they're changing that around. There should be a match, I think, again this year for some of those problems. Infants in Bloom is what I was trying to think of. They couldn't use the match because they needed more prenatal work to be able to match that. But apparently, FSSA is changing around their line of thinking, and they'll probably qualify this year. I think they convinced them that the way they were doing that would work. But anyway, that's about all I know about it, just because I'd read all that stuff before. And the committee, Jamie, the committee was, when you read Indiana's recommendations for that, that committee was somewhat askew from what Matt had kind of notified people. It wasn't.
But the judge even at one time said he would create that.
Yeah,
Committee's probably not the right word. I don't know what
No,
it
it was
is, but
committee is the right word. That's what
it
they
was a
use.
committee, but there were different partners in it than what Matt had sent his emails to. For example, the health department should have been in it. There were some that he had in it that didn't belong when you started reading Indiana's take on the opioid document.
and I'll tell you, in Franklin County, what we did was, we did put together a committee where it's more of an advisory committee. They review the requests that come in, they submit it to the commissioners have the final say, because commissioners are the elected body. I think we should move towards that direction of clarifying, putting it in an ordinance that says, hey, we've established an advisory committee. The advisory committee shall report to this entity shall make the determination.
That's about all I know about it.
What's the amount that,
5,000.
5,000?
Yeah, that's what I kind of researched last year. You did put me on the spot. I thought you were gonna have me come up and read one of those ordinances like that thing you read page after page after page after page.
I'll make a motion to approve the 5,000 for the after prom. And if you've not attended that program, you should. It's top notch.
I'll say,
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next we need to talk about the custodian. Wesley told me before this meeting that really nobody's bidding on this. One company that did bid on this would have been 50,000, is that right?
He didn't even give me a bid. He just said that that was the lowest.
It'd
that
been
they
about
could go.
$50,000 a year.
$40 an hour.
Yeah, that's-
Four companies, two came, looked at the building, one turned it down, the other one's not reached back out.
So
This one is not.
how I see it, is we have two options. We move forward with the 11, is that right? 11th applicant, or we repost this as a part-time position for 3 days a week to clean these buildings. But either way, we gotta move forward. The buildings are getting gross. The other night, Soil and Water hosted their banquet and they all had to come in here and take a clean. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I'd like to repost it for part-time, 3 days a week personally.
fine.
So let's do that. Make this 3 day week. 24 hours, 24 hours a week.
Few certain days, I mean, Monday,
And it has to be during the day
yeah,
That's
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
they
Daylight.
come in.
Yeah, the judge said he really, if they're gonna sweep in his office, he can go in there. Not really so necessary before he starts, but before, you know, from 7:30 to 8:30.
Normal business hours,
Okay.
which is what we did before.
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah,
stick to
program.
that. And I'd really like to have this done for our next meeting so we can move on. We can't let this sit much longer. It's starting to get gross.
How long are you gonna post for applications?
10 days?
Yeah, whatever you think.
Yeah.
10 days, that way we have, them. That gives 4 days to gather and be
Friday
here.
before next Monday.
Yeah.
We have to do
Or before next
it. I assume.
I mean, some of these may want part-time, I don't know.
They might, I would
I
reach
could
out
just
maybe.
reach out to them and say,
I don't know if it's less.
24 hours a week. 24 hours a week, is that what you're saying?
Health department had some, they weren't on
Yeah,
here.
did you want to bring this up?
Gail asked her to come and talk about this.
This is, Kathy was in my office earlier this morning with a new employee. And her take, what she was told way back when. As a new hire, the handbook does not really specify, do they hire offer letter before the background and drug screening, or do they hire contingent on and they can't start the work until after? I didn't think they could start working until
Right,
after
that's,
those two things were.
Generally,
Most
we hire.
companies, yeah.
But
Contingent on.
yeah, so most people do contingent. Because they're not out working yet, they're still in training, they're under your direct
But do,
rope, basically.
so they are in the office working though, so they could have the drug screen. I'm just making it for instance.
Right, but they're not directly controlling anything or doing any, they're not turned loose, they're not on their own unsupervised.
They're not, and they do not drive the vehicle because a new employee, first of all, doesn't have reason to be out there all by themselves anyway. So
No,
somebody from the health department is going to be with them until they're trained or until it's appropriate. Same with giving keys. I mean, we're pretty strict about who we give keys to. We've got a lot there to protect. So we determined that when it's time to determine this. So we're pretty, for security reasons, we got everything in place that we need. It just, this came up, and what I was told way back when, I don't know whether it was the county manager or the HR person, go ahead, they can start work. And if for some reason they don't pass a test, then we just pay them for what they've worked. That's what I've been doing. That's my last 4 employees that I've hired. And that's how I've handled it. But it came up today that maybe I should handle it maybe a little differently. I don't know. So I'm just here to make sure that I'm straight with you guys about what you want me to do.
I told her it can be brought up at the 30th at the handbook meeting, because just to have the clarification in the handbook, because it's not.
Yeah, it needs to be in the
Real.
handbook. Right now, I would say,
I mean-
I would go with contingent on
Yeah, that's,
test results.
So we're good with the way we've handled it so far? Okay. Is this an open meeting for the handbook, just for
Same,
suggestions?
yeah, it's the same
Okay.
format. as
Okay.
everybody's.
Because there's a couple things that we probably could talk about as far as being, it's mentioned 2 different ways in 2 different areas. So we probably could go over that too. So
Yeah.
just want to make sure we were doing everything
going
above
forward,
board.
I think everything for the county should be contingent upon, before they enter a building, contingent on passing a background check. That's my personal.
Oh, background. But right now, till we get everything, I think what you've been doing is fine.
Okay.
I would agree on that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think potentially you wasted X number
Yeah.
of days or hours training someone that's not gonna be with you, right? If
But we know within 24, 48 hours, I mean, because the drug test comes within a day or two. So, yeah, we've
Well, to me, it
been,
would make more sense then to wait on the results and then make the offer.
and that's fine too, because I'm not here to say one way or another. I'm here to say, what do you want me to do? You know, I was told one way, now I'm here. I mean, it's okay. I just want to do it the right way.
Preference, I mean.
I think we told you not to let them.
Well, the highway, we've always waited for most to come back, but, I mean, you can go, if you got skills, you can go right into the equipment, so that's.
Right.
Well, what do you normally do? Send them on Monday when they start? You send them for the drug test? Is that what?
Well, we were going to send them today, but they wanted to wait till tomorrow. The nurse managed clinic said, send them in tomorrow morning. They weren't able to do it today, but they do it tomorrow morning.
I would say.
And the background check, she's cleared. That's all been
Yeah,
cleared.
The background check takes an hour if that, and it's already cleared. So fine.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter. We've been trying to fill this position for 6-8 weeks now. Another day or two is not going to hurt us. It's just one of those situations where it's the way we've been doing it. So we just want to make sure we're going to do it right, make it
Just
satisfied.
sanitarian position. We don't call it sanitarian anymore.
Nope.
You told me that, but I don't remember what it was called.
Well, it's more broad now, so it's an environmental health specialist. Yeah.
Is this the job that Mr. Penny talked about? That's what I'm talking about.
That's it.
Well, it's just, if you're doing it that way, and I know the sheriff said do it that way, we'll make it unified, and we need to add that in the handbook.
Okay. And that works for me too. Like I said, a couple of days doesn't really matter. Just it's the way we've been doing it. As soon as we can get them in a position, we try to get them started. So,
I'd say with this one that you've already hired, we're fine. Let's just
okay.
Right.
keep
Okay,
moving
move
forward.
Then that's good with me. Any other questions? No?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we have Baker Tilly thing here. This is is it two different ones, Gail? There's two different.
My understanding is the same thing, it's just two different.
This is a tax that we passed or?
No, that's what I
No.
thought. This is to retain
The
that.
taxes will be advertised in the next 2 weeks. So next meeting, you guys will have a hearing.
Has that already been posted for advertising?
This week. This week and next.
I'll make a motion to retain Baker Tilly for 2026.
Anything's changed that I know of.
But as far as the cost, nothing has changed. So that's what it's-
Nothing's changed. Looks like the same contract we sent before. We can call them down here.
My opinion is probably we'll need more this year than we actually did last year. I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
I listened to the county meeting the other night. At the end, did they start to talk about the wheel tax
They're gonna have the next meeting.
at the next meeting? because it has to be in by September, correct?
That's my understanding.
Okay.
Board reports?
None for me.
I don't have any.
I have one, need approval on
The other company?
it's the bond, I just need another bond
For
approved.
Joe.
Which I'll,
Warner,
surety bond.
yeah, sure you're on. I just found it in my stack, sorry.
Joe, you can come back up here. We're looking at your bond things. I know you wanted to talk about that cap.
Yeah, so one thing, and I have not got the, quote or paperwork, whatever you want to call it, from Swiss Caps. They did tell me verbally, like I said, 2,400 for, the aluminum, 2,500 for, the drawer on the side for that. I didn't know if we could, make a motion to, not to exceed that before I get the paperwork, so I can get them to start with what they need to do and start building that cap. So I forgot that when I came up here before.
Right, I'll make a motion for the coroner's office to work, to obtain a cap for the Swiss caps not to exceed $2,500.
I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the surety bond number 673474446 for Joseph Michael Spillman, county coroner.
I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye. There was a signature on the back, I think.
No further board reports.
I have one question, sorry. On the secure tech, did you guys get this that I emailed you about the buttons for us, like our alarm buttons that we each have at our office or at our
Sure you
desk?
emailed it to us?
What's that?
Are you sure you emailed it?
Pretty sure it is.
I don't remember seeing it. Doesn't mean I didn't get it, but I don't
Anyway.
remember.
So this is the button that we have at our desk for us to push down to the panic button, yeah. This is only one quote, this, Kevin brought this over to me. I thought I had emailed it to you guys, but you can review it, and I don't know if you wanted another quote, or
Is there more companies? I'm not familiar with
I
that.
have no idea if he would be the one that would. I just wanted to bring it up.
Wesley.
Jamie,
We tried to get, we had to let them go back, we tried to find them at all the mechanisms. Kevin found some on eBay, we had no idea if they worked or didn't work. Got them, they did, we had 2 spares, out of 5, I told them.
So this is a whole different company that's gonna
We do
redo
that, we do that, if they work right now,
is that the new company?
that's Kevin, they installed the computer system a year or so ago,
Okay,
maybe 2 years.
Is this an annual contract or?
2,500, 60 for a year.
it's for the new buttons.
It should be just for the buttons alone, I haven't seen it, but I'm assuming that's probably.
So that's for installation.
That's gonna be for all the new
Yeah,
buttons.
they'll program them, they should just, put them at each desk.
And then we don't have to pay a monthly fee.
I haven't seen that, so I don't want to say yes. or no.
I don't see it on there.
It doesn't say it on there.
We need to find out. Because I don't know.
I'll contact Kevin tomorrow. and see.
Yes,
Like I said, that's
service
just a
fee or
quote, so that's just a quote anyway,
I
so.
wouldn't think there would be one, because it communicates through radio.
Yeah, it just communicates to a CB radio or a CB radio,
And then it
and it
goes.
contacts their radio,
Comes into dispatch.
to tell us what office.
Those buttons, they come in programmed buttons, because if you push a button in there, we get an alert that says emergency in the auditor's office or emergency in the prosecutor's office. Or that way, when we go, we know where we need to be going. So I'm sure there's some sort of a software program, or those little key fobs.
That's
There's nothing
through
else
Secure
on there, so I'm
Tech. You
assuming
guys
this
use them
would be-
now though?
I don't know, we don't. I
Yeah,
haven't
is it-
heard.
So they're using the same current system,
Yeah, just new.
because this is a battery for that system evidently.
I'd have to
But
give Kevin to find out, but but they put a new system in for us a couple years ago. But that's not much.
Is that hard for food delivery too?
For food delivery, no? I mean,
service and test system, so that must be the end. They get it up and running. Yeah, that's the-
I can get more information from them. That was just like at my desk.
Are they broken and is it not working at all now?
They're just old, and like Wesley said, we got two spares.
We haven't tested them in a few months, but most of them will all work. I mean, they're all gonna work. But we had one fail a couple years ago. We couldn't find them. Kevin found them on eBay.
Funny thing about this quote, the battery and the buttons are only like 30 some, or $270, and the rest of it is all
They just-
extended warranty and
It may come.
testing the system.
New transmitter, I don't know that for sure. Or whether it's a receiver.
Can you just lock down some of this so we have it, like a better idea of what?
I'll give it to Kevin tomorrow. Like I said, I haven't seen it other than what she showed me today.
I can just take it back and give it to
Because
Wesley.
their
in the morning.
2-year warranty thing alone is $1,500.
Right, and just to test to make sure it's working is $750, so out of the 2,500 to 2,200 of it's,
80%.
Yeah,
I mean, if we need them, we need them, but.
right.
As long as they're working today, 2 more weeks. Anything from out here? All right. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Becoming prepared.
Yeah.
You see, guy working his cell company. He's talking handwriting.